Lines in motion. In this part of the video, we're going to go over our I can statements as well as the elements that will go into this artwork. Our I can statements for the week are: I can draw and name different types of line, and I can make a symmetrical or asymmetrical silhouette. Here are some examples of the inspiration behind our lesson. Notice that even though each of these are different, they all focus on line. Line is one of the 7 elements of art, as well as shape, value, texture, color, form, and space. These are the spices that artists use to create beautiful artworks. Line is a path created by a moving point, mark, or object. I like to say that line is a dot that went for a walk, and those lines aren't limited to horizontal, straight moving walks. They could be vertical, diagonal, curvy, wavy, zigzag, or many other different types of line. We can also think about the thickness or the thinness of our lines. You could make a dotted or dabbed or broken line. Lines can really be anything, as long as they don't close and become a shape. A silhouette is a 2D shape or object that is uniformly colored with black to suggest it is in shadow. Below are some examples of butterfly silhouettes. Butterflies are a great example because they have a very unique shape. You can tell that it is a butterfly without any of the details of their wings. When you choose your silhouette, choose something with a unique outline so that you're able to tell what it is without drawing on top. If you draw a soccer ball, for example, it's just going to look like a circle. Symmetry is the quality of being made up of exactly similar parts facing each other or around an axis. If you look at the pictures below and divided them in half vertically, they would all fold in half and their edges would meet up perfectly. Think about the butterfly in the last part. That is also symmetrical. Asymmetrical is the quality of being made up of different parts facing each other. This means that asymmetrical objects are different on both sides or around an axis. Here are some examples of asymmetrical silhouettes. There's no way that we could divide any of these 3 objects and have their edges match up. Take a moment, pause the video, and think of 3 objects or shapes that are symmetrical. Take another moment, pause the video, and think of 3 shapes that are asymmetrical. Now that we've talked about the elements that are going to go into this artwork, I will show you how to get started. Alright, for this week you're going to need a piece of paper, glue, scissors, a Sharpie or a black marker, and a piece of black scrap paper. I seem to have forgotten my black scrap paper at school, so I'm going to show you how to do the silhouettes on white piece of paper, and I'm going to pretend that it is the right color. But don't worry, if you do not have black paper at home, I will show you an alternative way to do this and still get the same results. Right, the first thing we need to do is our silhouettes. Now is the chance for you to decide what you want your silhouette to be, and you have to figure out if it is asymmetrical or symmetrical. For an asymmetrical object, for example, maybe a hand, you're going to have to draw that object out fully. It's my silly looking hand. And then you would cut that object out. If you choose to do a symmetrical object, for example, a heart, I have a little magic trick to share with you. You're going to fold this piece of paper in half And then on the folded side, you'll draw half of that object. So I'm going to do a heart. I started here, ended here. This is the folded edge. This is the open edge. So I don't have anything on this open edge. Then you will cut that shape out with your scissors. And abracadabra, voila. I have a full-sized heart. Now, again, I forgot my black paper, so I actually have to do this the alternative way. So if you do not have any black paper at home, we're actually just going to draw our silhouette and then color it in. I'm going to do a heart again to keep it simple up here in the corner. And now with your Sharpie or your marker, or I guess even paint if you wanted to, you're going to color that in black. And that will give the same impression of the silhouette. So I'm gonna pause it here, color my silhouette hard in, and then show you the next step. Okie dokie, presto art magic. I have my black heart silhouette. I used marker to color that in. Maybe you had black construction paper and you cut that out and you glued it down neatly. Either way, that will work. Next up, we're going to start adding lines to our drawing. I have attached this worksheet into the assignment, so you should be able to look at this if you need to. If not, you can just make up any type of line that you want. It doesn't have to be from this sheet. But now what we're going to do is start drawing lines from our object outward. So I'm going to start with a kind of loose wavy line. And I'm starting right in Sharpie because I just want to kind of feel what I'm doing and be creative and expressive without getting too caught up in things looking or being perfect. And I have brought my line from the object all the way around to the edge of my paper. You want it to touch the edge so that next week we have nice sections of lines to add color to. Over here, I think I might add a straight line. And notice I'm going kind of close to my wavy line. I'm not going super duper close, but I'm also not leaving big gaps. Next step, I think I'm gonna do a zigzag line. So I want you to go through and come up with as many different types of line as you can. You can repeat things, but I really want you to try to fill your paper with lots of different types of line. Be creative. Maybe come up with your own type of line. Doesn't have to have a name. Maybe it's just gestural. Okay, so I'm going to go through and add a bunch of lines, and then I will come back to chat with you about the next step. You can also do what's called an implied line or a broken line. This is when you make dots, dabs, or dashes close enough together that it tricks our eye into thinking that it is a line following a path, even though it's not fully connected from start to finish. The last thing that we'll talk about today is line weight or thickness. Line weight refers to the thickness or thinness of a line, and having a variety of line weight in our picture adds visual interest and keep things from looking too much the same. So the last step for you today is to go through and thicken up some of your lines, or even just parts of your lines like I'm doing here with the wave. Do not go ahead and color. We will do this next week after we talk about the color wheel, color order, and blending. So once you're done thickening up some of your lines today, please go ahead and take a picture of your artwork and upload that to Seesaw.